Hey guys, this is my 2014 Skidoo MXC 600. Today we're going to be beefing up the front end a little bit with this grip and rip brace kit. It comes in with some brackets here. They go on the upper control arm, bushings, some rivets as well. We also got some control arms, lower control arms, both left and right to install. She's a little bit dirty from our last ride. The ground wasn't frozen that well, but this is how she goes on here. The front, the rear, and yeah.
So we gotta remove these control arm bolts here, and then they go through this part of the mount and they get remounted in. We gotta remove these control arm bolts. They then go through the front here, which butts in up there, and then we drill four holes for the rivets, and we do that at the end when this is mounted in. We drill our holes, and then don't send the drill bit all the way through because chance you can hit a coolant line, so you just poke the drill bit through enough to get a hole, and then you punch a rivet in. The upper brace kit goes up in here and up around here. Again, drill a couple more holes, and it just strengthens up the bulkhead on these sleds.
Not hiding nothing there, she just won't stock. So we took the side panel off here, we've got the hood off here. We're going to take the expansion chamber out. We're going to flip it back over so be nice and square working on it.
Okay, we're just going to show you a little trick here for getting ball joints out. Ethan, put your foot here. And you're going to put some weight on that. Okay, we already took the nut off.
A little bit more?
Yeah, you got to balance my weight. Okay, and then we're just going to tap the spindle right here. Just like that.
Oh, fuck.
Those can be an absolute pain to get out. But if you don't have a pickle fork, that's an easy way to do it. So all we're going to do here is we're going to undo these bolts. We're going to do the upper side brace kit first. Rear, front. We're going to undo the shock here. And we're actually going to take this control arm completely out because we have a replacement for it. It has a little kink in it. So normally if you're just doing the brace kit, you're not replacing this control arm. But we are in this case because one of them has a little bit of a kink. So we're changing both of them out. But yeah, one bolt here, one bolt there, shock bolt, and then the two bolts at the bottom. We're going to drop the control arm out of the way. We'll install the upper brace kit first here on the left, and then we'll start working on the lower side.
Alright, we've got this all removed here. The upper control arm. We're going to put a little bit of grease on these. What are these called again?
Bushings.
Bushings. Alright, we're going to put a little bit of grease on the bushings here. I'll show you one. On that side.
So we're changing to the oil bronze light bushing kit. You got these from Royal, but you can get them from Grip and Rip as well. You have to reuse the little steel collars that go on the bolt, and then they just slide on in here.
Just like this here.
Push.
No, that doesn't want to go in there.
We might have to put them in with a C-clamp as well because they will be tighter than the original ones. So just slipping the new bushings in, one side and the other, and then we are reusing the steel collar. They just push in. If they go in slightly cockeyed, they're not going to slide in nicely. And then we're just going to repeat that for the other side. You get a little bit of light in there. So as part of this brace kit, we're going to install these brackets. They just pop in like so. We're going to drill a couple holes and then rivet that in place. We have to remove this 10 mil bolt, if you guys can see that all right. And then we're going to put this bracket back in. We're going to bolt it in place, drill a couple holes, and rivet it. And what that does is it strengthens the bulkhead so that if you hit something hard, the bulkhead doesn't break. Now, on my Summit, I have a 2010 Summit as well. This bracket actually broke on it, and this is a terrible job to do. And that's actually what this brace kit prevents, is that bracket from breaking. Okay, so we put this plate back. We put this plate in here. It's one bolt's holding it, and then we're going to drill 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. And then on this side, there's 2 holes up, 1 hole up high, 1 hole down low. Lower holes for 2-stroke sleds. The upper holes for 4-stroke sleds. Okay, so we're just going to put 2 holes in, pop a couple rivets in, and then we'll drill the other holes just so nothing moves from now on. So the kit comes with 2 sets of rivets. There are 2 rivets that are slightly longer, and they actually go in the bulkhead there. Now, make sure you use the long rivets here. There's 2 long ones in the kit, one for this side, one for the other side.
Jesus fucking.
Okay, that's all 4 all 5 rivets put in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that just strengthens the bulkhead a little bit. We have one more hole to drill with to put a little L bracket in there. We're gonna drill that hole after we install the control arm. That way we get it in the perfect spot. We're going to use the control arm as its guide. So we just pop the bolts in here, one side and the other. We're actually going to tighten this up a bit. Then we're going to drill a hole to put the bolt the kit provided in there. Then we might have to take it back off to get the shock back in. That's not really a big deal though. It's just you can't run the drill with the shock in the way, so we're going to leave the shock up in the air and tighten this up, drill, put the bolt in, and then we can deal with the shock afterwards. We got our hole drilled. Here's the bolt that the kit provides. Just goes in right through there. Now we are actually going to unbolt this control arm again, pull it out a little bit, just so we can get the shock back through, and then we will reinstall everything. And that will do it for the upper side. For this side of the sled. Now we might just show this side so what we're going to do is just show this side in detail. The other side will show a little bit of it, but this exact same process is mirrored on the other side. And then what we're going to show after this is the underside, which is the other portion of the brace kit. Brace the upper, brace the lower. So we'll be back in a minute. So because we're going to change control arms, I'm actually going to disconnect the sway bar here, and we are going to unbolt and remove this lower control arm completely. Now that is going to create a little bit of a situation here where the ski is going to want to fall. We're going to have to tie that up with a bungee cord for now, but because we're changing control arms, we are going to take this one out completely. If you're just doing the kit, you do not have to do that. There we go, one control arm out. Okay, so all we did here is we just came down and we unbolted the control arms, both sides. Okay, this is the new one. We took the other side out completely because it needs to be replaced as well. This is the one that had the bad bend in it. I don't know if you can see it. There's the bend right there. So they're both getting replaced. Now, where this brace kit goes is right in here, just like that. So the brace kit goes in, and then basically you just reinstall your control arms, and you bolt the brace kit in first, then you flip the sled back over and put the rivets in at the end. So that's what we're going to work on right now. So this brace kit, if you look, goes on the control arms just like that, and the control arm bolts go through it. And it makes it a little bit difficult to get it in there once you put this brace kit in. It's harder to get the bolts back in and everything, but it does make it a lot stronger. This part here is going to be a little hard to film, so we'll come back when it's done. Change both control arms. Again, you don't have to do that for the kit. We have the brace kit installed. The bolts for the control arms just bolt through the brace kit, front and back. You're going to drill holes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after you install and tighten everything. Be very careful putting the drill bit through here. There are some coolant hoses back there. You can see a little cutout right there for a coolant hose. So when you put the drill bit in, make sure you don't actually penetrate that far. Don't just ram the drill bit through, just enough to put a hole in it. And you have five rivets to put in, and then that basically completes the lower brace kit, and that stops this control arm assembly from breaking. When these break, they are a pain to change, so this little brace kit does a lot of work. Five rivets in here. I would highly recommend a hydraulic rivet gun for this. These rivets are pretty tough. So the only thing we have to do now that would be left would be to install the upper kit for the right side here. Now you saw that on the left, so we're not going to show all of that again. It's exactly identical left side, right side, and you just repeat the same steps that you did on the left to install the right. So we got the other side in here. Fresh bushings as well. This whole brace kit, everything is good and solid now. Part of that's to do with the brace kit. Part of that is to do with the brand new bushings. The old bushings were not that great. I don't know if I got it on camera, but you could grab the A-arms and wiggle them back and forth about 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch each way. Now everything's nice and tight.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm very happy with the product, and don't forget to subscribe and drop a like.